Good morning, class. To
Good
my
morning, Mr. Sean.
Mr. You know what's crazy? Like they actually call me Mr. Sean. Like especially this one kid keeps doing that, which I like.
Huh? I mean, I actually get it because a lot of my sorry to interrupt your recording, but my students be like yelling my first name. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
guys,
like somehow they found out all our me and my host teacher's first name.
they're some little detectives. Let me tell you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I mean, for her it happened like way earlier. But anyways, Josh, call me Mr. Tan. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, today we're not gonna start doing math. We're gonna start with an English lesson. Um, so on your handouts, you have two set of words. Some may look familiar, some may take some guessing. I want you and your classroom neighbor to talk about it. I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes so you guys can talk privately and don't let your other classmate hear what you're saying because you don't want to spoil your own work. And yeah, let's start with that. And that's 2 minutes. And that was 2 minutes. Um, Josh, what can you tell me about the words you're familiar with, the ones you're not familiar with, the ones you think you guess right, or maybe guess wrong for these 16 words here.
Yeah, so I'm pretty familiar with slope. I think we use that a lot when we build lines. I think points that you just mean like points on a graph, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm picking up on that.
yeah,
I don't I think change is kind of confusing because I feel like change can mean a lot of things. So I'm not really sure what exactly you're looking for. But for the words I'm most familiar with, probably slope, points, and I guess no, not intercept. I kind of need some work on intercept.
right, right, for sure, for sure. So some of these words we also use outside of math. And some of these, like Josh just said, like intercept, is something very specific to your classroom. Alberta, do you want to add anything about maybe some of the
Yeah,
words down here that you saw is familiar, not familiar?
yes. One word that I have not don't I think has may have a dual purpose, which is procedure in
Okay.
mathematics, and then it could be I'm from a business background, so procedure could you know in the business world have a different connotation.
Right.
But everything else, equivalent, representation, negative, coordinates, and intercepts.
Yeah.
Those yes,
Right.
multi-syllable words that I hear a lot in mathematics.
Yeah, totally. So we can have words that means the same thing in the math
Hmm.
classroom and in everywhere else in our life. And then again, we
Hmm.
can have different meanings for the same word
Hmm.
that we're going to cover today. So let's break some of these down. For the first one, I know Josh said intercept is pretty new vocabulary. Um, One thing we can always do is try to remember that a lot of English words are made up by two separate smaller words, right? So intercept, we can say is made up by inter plus sept, and inter here means between, right? Think about like if you say a person is international, this person is in between nations a lot, traveler, so to speak. So in this case, intercept would mean you are in this mass context, I guess. You see a point being see. God, I should have prepared for this. You can you intercept means that you have a line and the point where it meets the x or y axis, usually somewhere in the middle between the two Um, it's the left hand side and the right hand side of the line. That is what we call intercept. It's between the left and the right side of the line, and it meets somewhere in between, landing on that y-axis or x-axis. So, any questions, Josh?
So, just a clarifying question. I guess what you're saying is wherever our lines that we make, when they cross over the x or y axis, the point where, like, the exact point where they touch is what our intercepts are.
Yeah, and specifically, it would be touching the y-axis, the vertical, or the x-axis, the horizontal. You can have several intercepts, but the important thing is to remember is that it is where your line of interest and our two axes meet, and that is an intercept. Okay, so we also have this one should be a little bit more familiar, coordinate. So Josh, can you break down coordinate here for me? What are the two smaller words, smaller stems that builds this word?
So, it looks like we have co, which means together, and ordinate, which means order.
Right. So co together, right? And remember how we always use these ordered pairs, x comma y, to describe our points on the coordinate plane. We need to use two together and put them in a specific order to figure out, to label the points on the graph, right? So it's a coordinate, a coordinate. Something to remember when you're getting this on the PSSA and stuff. Co means together. You need two separate pieces of information to make up the point you need. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do predict. Alberta, what are your thoughts on predict? How do you make that word from two smaller ones?
Yes, the pre means before and the dict means to say.
Right. So when we're saying we're going to predict something, we're projecting a possibility in the future, right? So because the future is always ahead of us, like, and we're making a claim about what's gonna happen. So we're saying something about something that's gonna happen before it happens. So that's what predicting means, right? So we're gonna have a lot of predicting going on in math class because sometimes we don't really know. See, if we don't use a calculator and there are big numbers, if we're doing adding, subtracting, we don't really know the exact answer, but we can use our experience to predict what an answer can probably be, right? So for example, if you're getting from 111 to 82, like what is that change of measurements that's happening in between there? Like for this one would be pretty easy. It's -9.7. But imagine if it's in the hundreds, in the thousands, right? How are we gonna make those predictions? So that's what we're gonna practice today, making those, making claims, saying your claims before knowing the correct answer. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there. It's been like quite a while here. Okay, thank you guys.